Colombia is pasión. If they can pick up the questions or the comments and take them to the table. I have been told that we have 10 minutes for this last session of the plenary.
Sí.
Now we will read the first question. First question is addressed to Juan Sebastian. How is the acceptance of migrants on the investment of these remittances, this money that is remitted? How is, please give me the question so that I can read it to him. How is the acceptance of migrant people on the investment of remittances? Well, the project so far has been in operation 1.5 years, almost 2 years. The purpose of our project is to place 1,000 credits. The sense that we have, we see in the market is that we are in international housing fairs. There are immigrants who do not know what to do with that money, so they know that their families are devoting that for consumption and they feel that they are wasting that money. So it is a very interesting alternative that we offer them, because the immigrants can show that they are sending remittance money to their relatives and they can increase their credit indebtedness capacity at the same time to pay. So it is a gratifying sensation to know that that money remittance is generating capital that is growing the equity. Same thing happens with the entrepreneurs. Many of them, we know that they live very difficult, with a lot of difficulty and abroad, and with those monies they have the possibility of creating a productive unit that facilitates them a voluntary return to the country is much better for them and is more gratifying. And when accompaniment is done through 6 months, as we do through this alliance, I believe that immigrants are needing to make more productive and more effective the remittance money they send. And in the case of investment in equity, I think it is essential for them. Now a question addressed to Mr. David, President of Bank Agrario. What is being done to strengthen the community banking? Because this system is has a lot of use in the low-income strata. I mean, what programs, what supports by the Banco Agrario are given? The community banking program is a pilot project that the bank has with 12 months of operation. The success of this type of programs is to make them step by step. In other words, not to massify it until the technology and experience necessary exist. We have 1,365 people attended in community banking with a zero past due receivables ratio, and the steps that follow are to replicate this pilot program in other municipalities, and our goal is that starting in 2011 to massify that in all the network of the bank. A question for families in action. How it is reduce the possibility of abusing subsidy? What mechanisms, preventive mechanisms exist to avoid abuse? I would like to know what type of abuse you're referring to. I mean, okay. That they go to people who do not need them, right? Okay, as I initially said, first, subsidies are given to the poorest families and to mothers, family heads. We don't say who is granted and who is not granted. We simply use the tool that the government has, and we believe that is the best one, which is exactly the CISBEN registration, welfare system registration that is built in the municipalities, which is validated by the National Planning Department and it cannot be manipulated within the municipalities. When they do the CISBEN rating, for that there are some mechanisms that try to depurate it, to clear it, and to improve it, which is what the National Planning Department does. With respect to manipulation, we believe, and the impact assessment studies have demonstrated to the contrary, that the impact has been a very good one, that the program has contributed to reducing malnutrition in children and to improve school attendance. That has been demonstrated in the impact assessment studies performed by the National Planning Department. For that reason is that the government and the state has decided to promote much more that program. Obviously, there are isolated cases that are dealt with, and we have mechanisms for complaints and claims, and when they are very severe, they go to the control bodies, the corresponding control bodies, but we do perform permanent work on what has to deal with the resources going to the persons that are the target ones. Well, the time is over. I just want to make a brief summary, a quick summary of what was said by the panelists. Esteban Piedrahita called our attention to the importance for the microfinancing sector that technology has, and promoted to make more utilization of mobile financial services, and especially financial services through cellular technology. He talked about e-commerce and of the importance of connectivity. He emphasized on financial education, where there is a gap with respect to this nowadays, and that has led some sectors to what he called in his presentation the financial exclusion. He proposed, or he called our attention to the point that it is necessary more inclusion of the financial education, particularly in medium higher education. And one of the big challenges that exist in this sector are the remittances, because most of them are not included in the banking system. We see that Confama has some lines or some products that answer or respond to this concern. Second, David Guerrero, the president of Banco Agrario, explained to us, he presented his public bank that is committed to the bancarization of the small entrepreneur and micro-entrepreneur. He told us how this bank has prepared since 2003 technologically and humanly through specialized suppliers for this bancarization process, through which uses several channels. Essentially, one has to deal with the issue that we refer to today, which is the non-banking correspondence, of which he has 228 today, with the banking correspondence that will become Banco Agrario branch offices. This is a significant conclusion in the sense that non-banking correspondence will be called to be institutionalized as branch offices of the banks, and so that's a good initiative, starting at least and ending at the most, to allow access to credit for those focalized people, those who are the poorest or have lower income. Banco Agrario is the instrument through which subsidy of Familias en Acción is taken to the beneficiaries, which was the subject matter of the last participation. Likewise, and to finish, Mr. Guerrero talked to us about the results of Banco Agrario with respect to allowing access to credit. He shared the important results in terms of families gotten into the banking system, portfolio disbursements, and number of clients. Dr. Juan Sebastián Gómez, representative of Confama, talked to us about the family compensation system in Colombia based upon social responsibility, both of the entrepreneur with their workers and in the labor unions who had a significant role when the family compensation system was created in Colombia. What I would summarize of his presentation